Hey, welcome back to Livin MN Outdoors. I'm Daniel and thanks for tuning in to this week's fishing report. Before we dive into this week's report, just want to give a huge shout out to Bullseye Quick Load Boat Guides for sponsoring this week's report. And if you guys are having troubles loading your boat straight on your trailer and you need some assistance, go over to Bullseye Quick Load Boat Guides, check out their website, give them a call, find out if their guides are compatible with your trailer, and their guides will center your boat on your trailer every single time you go to load your boat up. So if you want some stress-free loading of your boat, go over to their website or give them a call and check them out. But with that being said, let's dive into this week's fishing report. All right, this week we're going to start on Mille Lacs Lake. The walleye bite on Mille Lacs has been extremely good this past week. The majority of the walleyes are coming in that 20 to 28 foot of water, even out to that 32 foot of water. But unfortunately, a lot of those fish caught over 28 foot are gonna suffer some barrow trauma. So if you can stay in 28 foot or shallower, it does help out a little bit. Now, the areas they're finding them, mud is key right now. That 20 to 28 foot on a point or an inside turn on some of the mud flats is holding a ton of really nice walleyes. There is still a lot of smaller ones mixed in, but plenty of eater walleyes along with those. Now, the best ways to catch them is a slip bobber with a large leech. It doesn't seem to matter if you're out there early in the morning or later into the evening. It seems like you can pick them off all day long out there right now. It does seem to help if it's a little bit breezy or a little bit overcast. The calm sunny days are a little tougher, but otherwise the bite is really good right now. Now, as far as the perch bite goes, they're picking off some nice perch mixed in with the walleyes out there, getting those on a slip bobber and a leech as well. You can put on a chunk of a crawler if you want to specifically get the perch, but if you want walleye and a mix of perch, I would highly suggest using a leech. Now, as far as the smallmouth bass bite goes, anywhere from that 8 to 24 foot of water, rocks is key. That sand to rock transition is holding some. Seems like some of the bigger smallmouth are out on that little bit deeper water, and then quite a few of the smaller ones hanging in on those shallower boulders. Best ways to catch them is still with a drop shot, a Ned rig, or a tube. Highly recommend using something crawfish colored. They're really kind of honing in on those crawfish right now. So throw something that resembles a crawfish and you're gonna catch some smallmouth bass. Now, as far as the pike bite goes, 6 to 14 foot of water in the weeds in any of the bays on Mille Lacs Lake is holding pike right now. Trolling plugs or spoons is working well, or a heavier spinner bait is working also, and they're catching some absolute hog pike out on Mille Lacs Lake. Now, if you're looking to hire a guide on Mille Lacs Lake, we're partnered up with Joe from Keeper's Guide Service. Whether you want to fish smallmouth bass or walleyes out on Mille Lacs, or you want to target some of the smaller local lakes, you can go ahead and give Joe a call and he can set you up on a awesome trip. So if you're looking to get up to the Mille Lacs Lake area and want to hire a guide, go ahead and call Joe from Keeper's Guide Service. All right, moving over to Lake Winnie. The walleye bite on Winnie has picked back up some. They're finding the majority of those fish in that 8 to 14 foot of water, trolling spinners along and through the weeds. White spinners are working extremely well, white and red too. Tip those with a fat head or a rainbow is working best, although you can mix in a leech or a crawler as well. Now, as far as the perch bite goes, the perch seem to be very scattered right now. They are picking up a few here and there in the weeds, but not very many. Not sure where they kind of moved to or if they just moved up super shallow, but the perch bite is a little bit tough right now. Now, as far as the pike bite goes, 6 to 10 foot of water along the weeds, trolling plugs or spoons. They're getting quite a few of them, and actually some really nice ones. So if you're into pike fishing, Lake Winnie is the place to be right now. Whether you want to pickle some, fry them, bake them, whatever you want to do, you're going to catch some pike out on Lake Winnie. Now, as far as the panfish bite goes, the majority of the panfish action is over in big cutfoot. They're catching them along the outside edge of the weed lines in anywhere from that 8 to 16 foot of water. A jig and a crawler or a jig and a leech is working best for both bluegill and crappies. You can pull a spinner along as well, either with a fat head or a chunk of a crawler is working best for the panfish. Now, if you're looking to hire a guide up on Lake Winnie, we're partnered up with Scott from zupsguideservice. He is the premier walleye guide up on Lake Winnie and the surrounding areas. So if you want to get out and catch some walleyes, definitely give Scott a call and get something on the books. Now, if you're looking for a place to stay up on Lake Winnie, we highly recommend the Pines Resort. They got cabins, RV sites, seasonal sites, full barn restaurant, rental boats, live bait, the whole works. So if you're looking to get up to Lake Winnie and need a place to stay, go ahead and call Chad at the Pines Resort. All right, now moving over to Leech Lake. The walleye bite is starting to pick up some out there. They're finding the majority of them in that 14 to 18 foot of water on the sand flats that have the Cara grass on them, either using a drop shot, pulling a spinner, or a slip bobber with a leech or a crawler seems to be working best. Now, the crankbait bite is starting to pick up out there as well, especially using something that resembles a perch or a crawfish is working well. So don't underestimate the crankbait bite, especially in those low light periods. Now, a second area you can target those walleyes, the outside edge of the shoreline weeds, pitching a slip bobber with a leech or pitching a jig with a leech or a crawler seems to be working as well. It does help if you have a live scope for those shoreline weed fish, but it isn't necessary either. Now, as far as the smallmouth bass bite goes, rock reefs or secluded boulders in that 6 to 18 foot of water, they're getting some really nice smallmouth out there. A drop shot, Ned rig, a tube, those seem to be working really well for the smallmouth bass. Now, as far as the panfish bite goes, they're still getting those in those shallow weedy bays, Boy Bay, Sucker Bay, Shingobe Bay. 4 to 8 foot of water seems to be holding quite a few of the bluegills, and then just a touch deeper, 8 to 12 foot of water for the crappies. Pitching a jig and a crawler, a jig and a leech, or a jig in a smaller fathead seems to be working well for those. And then the muskie bite, the majority of the muskies are showing up on the shallow rocks and or the cabbage if you can find it. Throwing bucktails or jerk baits seems to be working very well for those right now. Just want to caution you, if the water temps remain high, lay off the muskies. They are really fragile when the water temps are high, and we don't need to be killing that resource. But we do have cooler temps in the forecast, so hopefully the water temps will start to cool and the bite for everything should get better when that happens. Now, if you're looking to hire a guide up on Leech Lake or the surrounding areas, we're partnered up with Parker from Davis's Guide Service. Whether you want to fish walleyes on Leech or some of the surrounding areas or panfish, Parker can accommodate those trips. So if you're looking to get up there and need to hire a guide, go ahead and call Parker from Davis's Guide Service. Now, if you're looking for a place to stay up on Leech Lake, Acorn Hill Resort is located on Traders Bay on beautiful Leech Lake. Kyle runs a great operation over there. They have campsites, cabins, full barn restaurant, indoor pool, tons of water activities for the kids, adult activities up in the bar. So if you want to get up to Leech Lake and have an absolute blast, go ahead and call Kyle from Acorn Hill Resort. All right, well, that's going to do it for this week's fishing report. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Just want to remind you, go over, check out Bullseye Quick Load Boat Guides over at their website. Give them a call, find out if their guides are suitable for your trailer, and make loading your boat a breeze the next time you're on the water. Remember, if you guys make it out fishing, take some pictures, send them to us over on Facebook Messenger or to our Gmail. We will do our best to feature you in next week's fishing report. Remember, be kind at the boat ramp, don't crowd your neighbor, and most importantly, don't forget to get on out there and get living.